I need to ask you a question.
Be curious, Drifters.
Allegron's won the Brisbane Cup, but it's all Antino. Blake Shin, take a bow. Barraquil, Benny Allen hasn't moved.
Broadside him, bobbed, won the Golden Rose.
Pride of Jenny, trying to find the reserves at the 100. She's 3 in front of Mr. Brightside. It's all too late. Pride of Jenny has run them into the night. Switzerland, the big winner by 2.5 Bellatrix Star.
He's down, Jolly Star. She is a star in the making. Jolly Star bolts in.
It's all Isthmus. She's very smart and fast.
Mate, one of the best days on the calendar. Kind of bit us in the bum in the end. Sleeper weekend last weekend.
It did, mate. It did.
Yeah.
Like most people on the punt on the weekend, there was a few shorties that got the job done who were awfully short. And you just couldn't really find a lot of value. And then when I felt like something was worth a bet and the market was with them, there was a few unlucky seconds and thirds and, just didn't quite hit the mark. So an absolute strip out for your boy. I was telling people Jimmy Star was the bet of the autumn.
Well, that's one of my resolutions is beware the opposite of the hour of power.
Yeah.
Because things were looking up. And then Jimmy just started an almighty fall from grace, I feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was tough.
Yeah, that was tough. And that leads into my resolution is track bias, which I've already spoken about, lanes. So typically when we talk about track bias, we're thinking like leaders are on, you know what I mean? You can talk about rails and run and stuff like that, but I'm thinking lanes that have been overwatered when the rail's out, so on and so forth. Mark Zara said it best when the first 3 or 4 lanes on the fence at Caulfield were like quicksand. Mm-hmm. So if you're a horse who doesn't necessarily jump well, and if you're drawing gate 1 or 2, then you're in licorice all sorts. So for me, it's a tough meeting to take the form out of. Last two, yeah, absolutely. And Jimmy Star, complete forgive.
Just back the horses who've been at Flemington last start.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Well, you don't know what that might do to a horse coming out of that form.
Exactly.
Good to see Treasure in the Moment back in the winner's circle.
Yeah, that was a sit and sprint.
She was on the inside.
She was.
Like, she was off the fence, but she was inside still.
Yeah. That was a sit and sprint. Like, they absolutely dawdled, and she was just better than him. And to be honest, I would have liked to have seen from her a probably more truly run race because, you know, when they're coming from those sort of races into something that's a little bit more high pressure, there's got to be a question mark. So, a little bit concerning. But look, I've got a ticket for her in the Queen of the Turf at $8. We know that Autumn Glow's not going there anymore. It's been announced she's going to the Queen Elizabeth. So I don't know what price she is now, but she's certainly not $8. All age, so I've got Jimmy Star at $3. Might as well turn this around. Don't know what price he is now. Don't know if it's that, but I'm still buoyant on his chances. Grafter Burners in the Galaxy didn't even race. That was a debacle. Pissed off about that. Headley Grange in the Donny at 15s. Value. He ran super on the weekend. So some dead, some alive.
Yeah. You know what? I have found one. I'm going to give her another chance in the Queen of the Turf. I'm going to go give Ole Dancer another chance if she's heading that way.
Okay.
At $15. But Apulia this weekend, have a ticket for him at 15s. Lord Penman needs to win the prelude this weekend to get in there. Banjora in the midway at $6. I don't think he'll be starting that price. And then I have King of Russo at 15s in the Stradbroke. So, but yeah, Autumn Glow, she's pretty good.
Yeah, she is fantastic. She eased down with like 75 metres to go. J-Mac took her widest. Absolutely brained them. Glad they're taking it 2,000 metres. Doncaster versus She's an Alibi would have been cool. But I want them to tick this 2,000 metre box so we can get her in a Cox Plate in the spring.
How about all the geniuses saying that they're taking the softer option. I think they're taking an unknown option.
Yeah. I don't agree with that.
Especially a $5 million race versus a $2 million race.
Yeah. I
know what I would do.
Yeah, absolutely. And softer option, it's like, okay, well, what do you mean? Like she's going to scare away horses.
Yeah, exactly right. Why do you reckon Aliana's backing up this weekend?
Yeah, exactly. So no, Queen Elizabeth, the Cox Plate of the autumn. Since when is that the softer option? Yeah, unbelievable. But we do miss out on a match race between her and She's an Alibi. But I think it's going to happen in the springtime, hopefully. Depending on whether She's Alibi goes to the Golden Eagle, my least favourite race on the calendar.
Guest House was a good winner of the Slipper.
Yeah, he was good.
Dominant.
Yeah, he was good.
Blue Diamond form.
Yeah, the Blue Diamond form. He finally had a nice relaxed run in transit. He found the rails, just like most Golden Slipper winners do. The seas parted as they do in most Golden Slippers, and he proved the best.
Tell you what, I thought my guy music time was. I thought he was looming up.
He was
in the orange.
He was.
But
he ran super.
He did at 50s, $11 to place. He ran out of his mind, and I think that kind of sums up the race though, because they immediately said, "Well, this is throw at the stumps. This is not the grand final," and I think that sums up these 2-year-olds, to be honest. Rarely do you see the Victorians be head and shoulders above the Sydney Colts and fillies. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
No Sydney trained horse ran in the top 3, which is wild. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah,
I don't think it's ever happened.
Yeah, who ran 4th?
Campione d'Italia.
So he was the best finisher out of the Sydney horses. Then Stretton Ruler was 5th from memory.
Yeah, ish.
Yeah. He was a worthy winner. Good horse.
Yeah. Autumn Boy was good. I reckon. Has the bubble popped on Observer?
Oh, a little bit, yeah. I think he wasn't ridden to suit. He needed.
Craig had a couple of those.
Yeah, he did. He should have been leading by a length or two and made it more of a staying test. It was sit and sprint. That's gonna suit Autumn Boy better. Yeah,
so they probably head to a derby. Like, very similar.
J-Mac's been booked on him for the derby.
Oh, really? Wow, okay. Very similar vibes to Riff Rocket, to be honest. Like, that I get. It's like, I don't think he really loves the derby distance, but he's probably good enough to get the JD. But I think it will be harder. Looking at that derby market, it's probably changed if Observer's been and J-Mac's been booked. But I saw Arcora was like a $2 favourite in that race.
Wow, really?
In futures markets. So I'm like, I love Arcora, but you have to remember this horse started $100 in a Victoria derby.
He's out to $6 now. Observer's $3.50. This is with Team Green. Green Spaces, I think, is probably a better bet than Observer, and he's $4. I just had a look at the Queen of the Turf as well, and Treasure of the Moment's $3.50. So that's some good shopping.
Well done. Well done to you, mate. And then Jigsaw, the old boy, just doing the Lord's work. That was great to see, I thought.
Yeah, it was good. He's just on fire. Yeah. He loves leading up, going at a solid pace. And Cindy Alderson, like, respect. 7-year-old gelding. He's won 6 in a row. Do they squeeze one more out? One more out. Squeeze one more run out.
Snap one off with him. Yeah, I reckon. Why not? Fuck it. Where's he? Take him to a TJ. Where's he actually line up against these horses? Like, what's the ceiling with him?
Well, he puts himself up on pace. The TJ is becoming a very interesting race.
He's gonna go to the Quokka. He'll win that.
Yeah, good shout.
Yeah,
good shout.
It's a $4 million race, I think. Be silly not to. He's travelled over to New Zealand. He's handled that. Yeah, why not?
He's currently 15s in the TJ. TJ is a fascinating race because you basically you've got Tantaurus $3 favourite at the moment, into Jimmy $4.50, Giga Kick 6, Jolly Star 6, Briasa 8, Tempted 8, Angel Capital 15s, and it sort of goes from there. Angel Capital needs 1,400 metres firstly.
I think he needs to be gelded.
I still think it's between Tantaurus and Jimmy Star. Tantaurus, that like his run in the Newmarket was actually fantastic. If you go back and watch the replay, he was never going to win that race, but he ran super.
Slow recovery.
Yeah, exactly. Jimmy Star complete for Gibbs, so I still think they're the two to beat. But becoming a fascinating race.
Who would you prefer, Jolly Star, Tempted? Jolly Star's been very impressive this prep, and I think they've been writings on the wall that they're taking her fresh into that race as well.
I think Tempted has a higher ceiling. It's just whether she can reach that on the day, whereas Jolly Star's probably, we've got a body of work to suggest that when she gets to a big race like that, she tends to be a bit disappointing.
That's what he said. I think she's pretty good.
Oh, I think she's phenomenal, but she finds bad luck in those sort of races.
Let's put it this way: I prefer her at $6 versus Kiki Kick currently on the body of work I've seen.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
But you also factor into that is like Kiki Kick's been 1,000, where he's going to be better at his best run. The prep will be at the 1,400 meters in the all aged.
Yep, I agree with that. Tempted. I don't think she'll go there anyway. I think she'll go to the Arrowfield.
And she's like a $2 favourite there.
Yeah, and the reason being, let's probably get on already. Reason being is Godolphin doesn't need to add another Group 1 to her CV. She's just going to be a broodmare with them anyway. It doesn't matter if she's won a TJ or not. I don't think so. She's not going to be up for sale.
Yeah. You know what I'm looking at this Arrowfield market. You know who I could have a bet in that race because she'll win a race like this is in Karuna. Fuck, she is hard to catch in Karuna.
She is. She was a frustrating result on the weekend. Really frustrating.
Yeah. I'm looking at the horse under her as well. Frustrating result because the more I looked at that racing at Caulfield, the more I was like, you know what? Point Barrow back to her own sex. She was lame after the race, and then I missed the jump. I missed it.
Oh, you're kidding.
So I'm no richer off the back of it.
Oh,
so
you're kidding.
It is what it is, though. Shall we get into it?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Flemington, bit of rain around in the lead up, but it is at Flemington this weekend, so I think it will be a soft track at the absolute worst, but I reckon it'll be just like a bit of give in the ground. I think it will be cherry ripe. Southerly winds up to 30 kilometres an hour, so potentially with a bit of cutting the ground, could be beneficial to those on speed. The rail is in the true position though, so I think if the wind is underplayed, then every horse should absolutely get their chance. Race 3 is the Thoroughbred Breeders' Stakes. Previous winners here. Rupert Picanto, Bossy Nick, Minaj, Flit and Scholes. So pretty decent 2-year-old record for this race. So good horses win this race. I think Gin Twist is a bit of a smart filly.
She is a smart filly. I would not be surprised to see her come out and win. Those Hayes boys with their 2-year-olds just figure it out, don't they?
They do figure it out. And find the rails, be on speed, and just be better.
Yeah, absolutely. And the benefit for this girl is the fact that she's seen the Flemington Straight before. Jump from 1,000 metres to 1,200 metres, so slight query. The one that I'm keen on has the same, is going from 1,000 metres to 1,200 metres as well, but I really like the medicinal form. That's number 4, Jadzia, Graham Begg. Has a massive opinion of this filly, and against some tried 2-year-old types, she came out and ran super on debut. So I think she's going to go on with it. So Judge is the one I'm keen on this weekend. Gets 2 kilos off Gin Twist as well.
Yeah, she was. I think they were spruiking her for a Blue Diamond, had a little setback.
Yep.
But you see that debut run behind Medicinal, sensational. And I think had a bit of the blows in the market as well. So I think the market just wanted to, reading into that, I think they wanted to see her do it. I think they saw her do it.
Yep.
She's into $3 here. So it's whether or not you want the test and tried form or on the filly on the up around the same price. So race 6 is the VRC Sprint Classic, 1,100 metres listed. Speed in the race here. I thought Bakash and Educated could go forward with Legacy Bound, Military Tycoon sitting behind. What do you do with My Gladiola here? Is she a bet? $2.50? Back to 1,100 metres?
Yeah. I don't know. It's one of those ones where if you get on now and she doesn't win, then you're sort of like, okay, well, I'm just going to let her go around without me whenever she's a short price favourite. But then it's also, if she comes out here and brains them and you're not on, you're like, well, fuck, that was obvious. So, but I'll tell you what, Legacy Bound's a big threat. He came back super last start. Like, who'd he beat? Yeah, but geez, he brained him and he did it well. Good time.
61 kilos.
Yep, absolutely. So he's around the $4 mark. I couldn't talk you out of him, but I feel like I need to get something out of My Gladiola. Having the failed futures bet, to be fair, it was $5 on at 34, so who loses there? But the other one that I've got a bit of time for, and she's taken all before, trialled super at Cranbourne, number 10, Educated. The Kieran Maher filly in the Aussie Kiss Silks. Enormous opinion of this girl. This is a massive step up, though. So, yeah, interesting. Interesting. So, I don't know how I'm going to play, but probably My Gladiola at this
I don't think it's chips in My Gladiola.
No.
Yeah.
It's not chips in.
No.
And a lot of people have it as best of the day.
Yeah.
Whereas a little bit stinky poo-poo, like I said about Planet Red. And at the end of the day, I looked at that race on the weekend and I was like, well, if I was going to give a tip in the race, it wouldn't be to bet on it, but I'd say, well, Planet Red probably wins, but I'm not going to have a bet myself.
No.
And I didn't.
And I texted you after the race.
Yeah.
Fucking typical. Figure that out for yourselves. We've said it before. Fucking typical. Yeah. No, I think that's a good take. I think Legacy Bound, I've been a fan of his. I think down the straight he's his best as well. The Roy Higgins, 2,600 metres, listed race, set weights and penalties. I believe this is a win and you're in. Mm-hmm. So that's good.
Who won this last year?
Deacon.
Deacon did?
Yeah. How's this for some well-performed Melbourne Cup horses? Deacon, Mark Twain, Goldman, Crystal Pegasus.
I just don't get why you'd have a win and you're in
this early?
This early. It's a bit ridiculous.
It's farcical.
Is this the one that used to be on Derby Day?
No.
What's the one that used to be on Derby Day, you win and then
It was.
It was? Yeah.
Yeah, it's this. Yeah, this race. Must be.
Yeah. Anyway.
I'm not 100% sure now. The Archer. When's that?
Oh, the Archer. Yeah.
Anyway, doesn't matter. I remember I was watching Get On and Hutchie of well-named fame was calling One Smooth Operator the best each-way bet of the year, where he finished 9th, beaten 7 lengths behind Birdman and the like, at about 26-1. So, you know. But he steps up 1,000 metres here to 2,600, where we've seen him do very, very good things out at this distance, into $8.50. I don't really know what to do with this race.
Paradise Storm absolutely flogged them in the Auckland Cup. To be honest, he had 53 kilos and it's an Auckland Cup. But I'm looking at the rest of this race and I'm thinking, well, what would these things do in an Auckland Cup?
My question is, why are the blinkers off first time?
Yeah.
You brain it by 6.5. Is this a prep run? But what are you prepping for?
Yeah,
A
exactly.
Sydney Cup. Is that what they're doing?
Maybe.
I don't know.
But, geez, he just put him to the sword. So if he's anywhere near that sort of level, at $4.60, like I'll have a bet, because you're looking at that versus a $5.50 with Whiskey on the Hill. No thanks, putrid. Or with Desert Hero at 5s, who was okay first up. And then, you know, you're trusting that he's going to improve sharply. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I found it really difficult. I think I need to do a bit more on this one. I think I can trust the Mars stable getting out to this distance with like a European type like Desert Hero, especially with Harry Coffey on. And you can't deny it was a savage bias that day.
It was.
And Arcora just set up so divinely.
Yeah.
For him to only be beaten 3.5 lengths, I think people do disrespect that horse, Arcora, and the form around it. But I do think once he steps up in distance, he won't get beaten more than like 2 lengths, I don't think.
Yeah.
I think he's a really hard grinding horse that's going to be hard to get past. Desert Hero, 3 wins at the 2400, so I don't really have any queries that he'll run it out strongly. It's probably between him and One Smooth Operator, but probably Desert Hero on top for me. Race 8 is the Australian Cup, 2000 metres Group 1, Way for Age. So Light Infantry Man won this last year, Cascadian 2-time. Jewess, Homesman, 50 stars, and then Harlem. Funny horse. He won it twice.
He's a funny horse.
About 40 to 1 each time. All right, what do you do here? Philia goes forward just fine. What's he doing here? Pride of Jenny, obviously. So I don't think it will be an absolute island job for Princess Jenny. I think there's enough speed to take the rest of this field up. Light Infantry Man's positive. Does set up well for a horse like Birdman, I would have thought. Plenty of speed on. He was sensational in the lead up. Again, 320. Tom Kitten probably sits up well for him as well. I think third up, last prep. What did he do? Yeah, he ran 2.5 lengths beaten in the King Charles, but he was a run short there. So if he's getting out to the 2,000 metres here, probably have a little bit more confidence. I can just trust that stable as well, that they're going to have him in the absolute best condition. Are you on the up and coming type in Birdman? He's been very impressive.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's got a new peak in him in this race. And you've got to remember, they brought him over as a stayer. So if it's a truly run 2,000 metres, I think that's only going to suit. It's such a visually impressive win last start. And if you watch the replay, he wasn't touched. Benny Mellon just gave him a bit of a squeeze and he went. He's come back super this prep. And he's drawn perfectly. I think a truly run race, he'll find a little bit of a suck run. He'll get some cover. Flemington suits. There's enough ticks there at $3.20 for me to definitely have a bet. But I don't think it's that cut and dry. With Tommy Kitten in the race, he's going to love a truly run 2,000 metres to my eye. So will Light Infantry Man. He can bounce back at a huge price. And so will Apulia. So the chances don't stop there.
I've just seen who's riding Apulia. Pikey.
Pikey is, yeah.
Wow. Well, he would have ridden him. Yeah, he rode him over in Perth. Okay, that's all right.
He did.
It's just the issue with Pikey is he's not riding this horse in Ascot.
No, he's not.
When's the last time he won away from Ascot, I wonder? Probably the All-Star Mile?
Group 1 specifically?
Any race.
Oh, any race, surely there's been one since, but he... Oh.
Might ask Chat. Or Chat. Yeah.
Oh, surely he's won since Ollie Kirk in the Caulfield Guineas. I'm talking Group 1s. Maybe Arcadia Queen?
I reckon Ollie Kirk was after.
Kirk was after that? Yeah, it would have been.
Interesting. Absolutely. Birdman. Probably want to see him do it at this level, but against the likes of probably Tommy. I think Tommy at Flemington, he just has to go into everything. Barrier 12, don't worry about it. He goes back anyway.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
And Craig, I think from a poorer draw, he'll probably actually ride these horses more positive, unlike last weekend. Apulia was finishing off really well, and I think he's going to have his best run of the prep here. Third up, no real form to speak of, but I think for him it's more the distance. Blinkers go on again as well, so I think he can only improve. And being a 5-year-old Entire, probably just getting into his prep a little bit more. You know, it was a really nice run in the All-Star Mile was Sabaj.
Great run.
He was a great run.
Yeah.
Only beaten less than a length, as a lot of those were. But, could probably make a case for him too, so I don't think it's cut and dry.
He's a horse on the up. I think he's going to be a Group 1 weight for age horse in the spring. Like he is now already, but I think he's going to be a contender in the spring.
Yeah. But if I'm to tip one out, it'd be my guy, Tommy. God bless him.
Makes sense.
Yeah. The Bobby Hoisted handicap, 1,000 metres, listed race, set weights. Joyful Fortune won this last year. Sans Doute, Kalos, Fabergino. So, no superstars. Bit of speed here with Nervous Witness going forward. Like, I remember when that horse was, it won its first few races over in Hong Kong, and everyone was losing their minds, going like, "This is the next Black Caviar." Well, here it is in this race at $51.
Hilarious.
Midwest knows no other way. He was honest. Katsu, unflinching. What do you do here?
Tricky. This is a race to me that just something at big odds is going to pop up out of nowhere and win. Celerity was a decent win last start in a listed race in Adelaide on Adelaide Cup Day, but as far as listed races go, it's probably benchmark 78 form in Victoria, with all due respect. And it comes up a pretty short price here. Do you know what? I actually was leaning towards Midwest because he's the sort of horse where we know he loves the straight. He'll be up on pace. He drops a bit of weight from last start. Maybe that's all he needs to get the chocolates in a race like this. It seems like that sort of race to me, if that makes sense.
I think that's a decent shout.
Yeah.
What about Tiger Shark?
I was looking at her. I don't know. The stable changed to Clayton.
Yeah, but Clayton got her a win last prep, didn't he?
He did. She pops up at these sort of odds.
I think she might be the last horse to actually beat Jigsaw in a race.
Maybe.
That day, yeah. So the Barrow-Stock handicap, 1,100 metres benchmark 100, Jigsaw was beaten into fourth there. So bet you didn't know that. Tiger Shark, the last horse to beat Jigsaw in a race.
There you go.
So I think if you take that context, I think she's well over the odds at $21. She just mixes her form, something chronic.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you're getting a price. Just a couple of one Godolphin and ex-Godolphin horse here. Piscinello, Corniche. God, Corniche. 2 runs at the 1,200 down to the 1,000. Huh? And then Piscinello, I don't know about him.
That's what I mean. It seems like that sort of race.
Yeah, it is. Is that it? There's a decent race in the last, actually. The Royal Ascot Handicap, 1,600 metres handicap. Holy shit. Got 19, 3 emergencies here. Any case for Cafe as the top weight?
Oh, look, it's a mile. It's not 1,400 metres, so that's going to be a concern.
What about Enexudo? They were talking Doncasters for this horse.
Yeah, he's dual nom down in Sydney as well. He's got way too far back. If he ends up in this race, I think he's a bet. Tyler Schiller, geez, he's struggling at the moment with all due respect. And we just took him too far back last start. It's one of the biggest guys I've ever seen. So, yeah, if he ends up here, I could probably have a bet.
Okay. Well, let's get to Rose Hill then. Weather is looking pretty similar to last week in the lead-up, I would have thought, but no rain on race day, which is crucial, I would have thought. Up to 20 kilometre an hour south to southwesterly winds. Rail is out 5 metres, so check your local guides on the day of how it's going to be suited. I think, generally speaking, at Rose Hill, you probably want to be in the first half of the field. Race 2 is the Neville Selwood Stakes, 2,000 metres Group 2, set weights penalties. Cheerwolf won this when the program was rained out.
That's right.
And he was back on and he just nosed out just fine, I reckon, in a midweek. Shared Ambition, previous to that, and a sign.
Kick through.
I only pick out the horses that I was like, oh yeah, that's got a bit of narrative, and saw a sign there.
Sign.
So,
Kick through a sign.
Now,
Very funny.
I'm hearing things about this Baranavra, whatever it is.
Barnavara.
That this horse is the next Via Sistina. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, look, I'd be surprised if she goes to those dizzying heights. Yulong paid an absolute fortune for her. But
them?
Yeah, but if you're a filly on the up winning 2,000 metre Group 1s over in France at Longchamp, you've got to have some chops, and she's got plenty of group form around that. So $1.65 currently with Team Green is probably where she's at.
Yeah.
She is pretty fresh out of quarantine, though.
Yeah. But what about Bois d'Argent? He's been racing okay.
He has been.
Yeah. What about Bouton Verney?
I was on him last start. It was very disappointing. One of those J-Mac races where just try to get him in the race. Didn't really end well.
Caviar Heights for Willie Haggis.
Yeah.
Travelling companion.
He sure is.
$5.
Yep. I think Barnavara is just. I think the bookies learnt their lesson with Via Sistine, one of the biggest guys we've ever seen when she debuted in the Rand, but should be taking care of these based on her overseas form.
Would have thought so. But yeah, one of the watches, I would have thought, this weekend. The Ballyou, 1,400 metres, Group 3 for the 2-year-olds at set weights. Speed here, you got Plagiarism, but I think you got a bunch of these that have either raced once or twice or unraced, like Stitzer. There you go, at 151. I have to probably stay with High Alert. I think he hasn't been too far away from some decent runs in the slipper. And he's still around that $10. I think he'll improve getting out to the 1,400 metres.
Yep.
Wolf Gap was disappointing, the stablemate, in the lead up against Paradoxium. Bit of market support for him. He had that form around
Nadra.
Yes. Around that filly, who I think the bubble burst on her as well. So form hasn't really stood up, but probably looks like he'll improve getting out to the 1,400 metres as well.
Yeah, that's what I thought with him. I was prepared to forgive. And that race just set up for Paradoxium last start.
Farcically run. So whether that's going to tune him up for this, I'm not sure. Also wouldn't be surprised if something that's never even placed before comes out and wins this. So, but no, Wolf Gap I thought was the horse. Yeah, it's funny because I feel like the last this generation, the last generation of 2-year-olds were like, these suck. Yeah. I feel like we were probably wrong about the last generations. We were right. We were right as 2-year-olds. They weren't great 2-year-olds, but as 3-year-olds, they've come on a mile. Yeah. There you go. We can justify any position. We can, absolutely. But like also that pretty much every year you see 2-year-olds who are hyped and unbelievable and win everything, and then as 3-year-olds don't come up. Like we've just seen Vinrock retired a stud, Nepotism's done nothing. Mahoon is like an exception. And I don't think she would have won that race if Grafterburners didn't get scratched on the weekend. So, yeah, whereas last year the best horses were running around as 2-year-olds, but they just weren't fully really matured yet. Mm. And to be fair, like that Galaxy was essentially a non-event. It was ridiculous. It was fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I don't understand when all that was happening, why they didn't get all of them out.
Yeah.
Started again because it's something, and then you see the finish. So
Yeah.
I would be backing no horses out of that race.
Shit
None of
form
them.
race. Honestly, I think Grafter Burners would have won.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Okay, race 5 is the Tulloch Stakes, 2,000 metres Group 2 for the Colts and Geldings. That's set weights. Pocketing won this last year, I think, coming from midway grade, if I'm not mistaken. Character of the year prior, Quick Thinker. I think you backed him. And then Jon Snow as well. Arkora, my guy. Barry 3 goes forward, $2.80. Bit short. But he's probably got the best form in this race.
Yeah, I think so. I think he does. I would have liked to have seen him start to step up already because 2,000 metres is a bit short for him, but also there's a bit of dross in this race, isn't there?
Mm.
Fair bits of dross.
I think you'll get a better price for him on the day, though. Surely, I think the bookies, this will be, if he remains at that price, I reckon it'll be the lay of the day.
Mm.
Just given his profile and his SP profile.
Yeah. Yeah. But I couldn't really steer you into anything else at this stage. It's not often you see J-Mac riding for Kieran Maher. He's in the number 7 Varjack. He's 10-1, coming out of a Gosford Class 1 handicap. So, yeah, Jesus Christ. I think Arkora, by definition, is the bet because he's got the most exposed form. And, you know, just won an Australian Cup prelude. So, yeah, but he does have that profile, you're right.
Yeah. I agree completely. It's a non-bet race for me, just based on that. But
he's a friend of the podcast.
I fucking love him. I think he's great. Owes me nothing. Well, he owes me, improving by 2 lengths in a Victoria Derby at 90-1. But not going to get that here. And that's always going to be in the back of my mind. If I'm betting at you at 90-1 and then you rock up in a race at $2.80, I'm like, I want double figures minimum.
Yeah, you're right.
So I reckon he'll be the lay of the day this weekend. I don't think he starts $2.80. I think he starts longer. But that's just my thoughts.
Could be right, could be wrong.
It's literally a 50-50. The Vinery, 2,000 metres Group 1 for the 3-year-old fillies. I was thinking of this. I forget the filly's name, who I was making like better the autumn. And she ran into that, I'm assuming, orchestral a couple of years ago.
I don't even think... Oh, yeah, it might have been orchestral a couple of years ago. Who won this last year?
Treasure at the moment.
Oh, of course you did.
Prowess, I think. That's not who I backed.
That's who I backed.
That ran 5th in the race, I think.
Yeah.
But she was coming off like a 4.5 length win from Newcastle.
She was. What was her name?
Pavitra.
Where
have I pulled that from?
Yeah, don't know. You've done well though. Prowess, that's a sad story. Comes out and wins a Crystal Mile at Moonee Valley on Cox Plate Day, and then feet issues, and it was just never the same. She was a Group 1 horse.
Treasure the Moment, Group 1 horse. Prowess, Group 1 horse. Fangirl, Group 1 horse. Where's she at?
I think she had a setback.
We saw her first up, didn't we?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I think she was known but scratched, maybe.
Right. I thought we saw her in like a 7 stakes or something.
Maybe.
Or was that in the spring?
That's in the spring, yeah.
Time changes when you have kids, drifters. Hungry Heart, very elegant.
Yeah.
Good horses win this race. So who's the good horse in this race? And this is where futures markets are toxic. Because I Hope A Wins has been $2 in this market for about 2 weeks, and now she rocks up $3.10 final field.
Toxic futures markets. I think there's a couple of good ones in this race, but none at this stage who you know is going to be a genuine Group 1 horse. Start with I Hope A Wins, coming out of the New Zealand Derby. Spank job there, came from the back to beat him. Apparently she ran a full second faster in the last 600 metres than any other horse. And that just makes me think the race was run to suit. So when you're watching the replay, that probably reaffirms that theory. Geez, she was up for a long time for that prep. few grand final runs. Now she comes across to the Chris Wallace stable and has a trial set for this at $3.10. I'm probably prepared to bet around her, particularly knowing that she's going to go back from that gate. She does have J-Mac though, and honestly, he could ride a camel. Then you've got another Kiwi horse, Belchevelle, who doesn't come out of the Derby. It comes out of the
Kiwi.
The Kiwi.
Against their Black Caviar.
Yeah, well written.
I don't know how that horse won that race.
Yeah. And Belchevelle came from the last third of the field and stormed home to almost win. And she was a big price by virtue of the fact that Well Written was like $1.05. Well Written, though, there's so much merit to that win because she set off a really hot speed and was still able to hold on and win. I think all the horses who finished who were in the first third with her during the run ended up finishing like no better than 6th or 7th. So the fact that she held on and Belchevelle and her gapped the rest tells me Well Written is a serious horse, but also tells me Belchevelle is a pretty good horse. So I look deeper into her. Her other 2 wins this prep, she's been versatile from different gates. First up, she drew the widest gate with Craig Williams on. Was 3 wide, no cover for a lot of the trip. Eventually found a slot in the first third and then absolutely brained them. Went back again from a wide gate in the next run, which was a Group 3 from the back of the field. Stormed home to win by about a length, I think. And then, nearly beats Well Written. So for me, she's one who's got the upside stepping up to 2,000 metres and some versatility from gate 2 with Zach Lloyd on to probably take a prominent position in a race that doesn't seem to have a lot of pace because we know I Hope He Wins is going to go out the back. So I'm thinking that Belchevelle takes a pretty prominent position alongside Salty Pearl. Salty Pearl, though, I think probably doesn't have the A1 form. Back in restricted grade last start, was just ridden like the best thing. I'm prepared to take her on. Panova, I think, is going to be my Oaks horse. I don't think this is her grand final. I think she wants all of 2,400 metres or whatever it is, and she's $8 at the moment in that race. Again, she's going to be from that wide gauge. She's going to go back. There's not going to be the pace on. I don't think she's had the right lead-up runs in the 60s race either. They're the only ones I'm sort of looking at. But, I think Belchevelle this weekend for me.
Mm. Concussion plates on first time?
Yeah, small concern.
Yeah. And the step up to 2,000?
She runs like a horse who I think that's going to suit, being a Savabeel as well. Mm. But I think it's a nice step to 2,000 metres, particularly coming off a fast run 1,500 metres into a slowly run 2,000 metres. I think they're going to get. So I think she's going to be just off the pace, and it's going to be a sit and sprint. I think that suits her the best.
What about Salty Pearl?
Like I said, restricted company last start. She was ridden like the best horse, and she absolutely brained them. But who'd she beat? Mm. And she's lengths off the likes of She's an Alibi, which a lot of horses are. But no, I think she was set up to win last start and tends to find a few better.
Yeah. Well, great summary there. Thank you. You have a firmer opinion on this race than what I do. But last time Panova was third up, she was a really nice winner in the Reginald Allen. Her best run of her career was the next start in the Carbine Club, fourth up. So I do think she did improve. She was beaten nearly 7 lengths first up in the surround. Went back to Group 2 company in that 60s race and was only beaten 3 lengths. So I do think she will improve again here. I think she's definitely a top 3 chance. And at the price, against some of this other form, which I probably want to bonus over the likes of the New Zealanders, I'll probably have her on top at $5.50 personally. But
I think she's a good horse.
Yeah, she's all right. Good 3-year-old filly. Yeah. The Emancipation, 1,500 metres, Group 2, fillies and mares, set weights, penalties. Lekvart won this at an enormous price last year. Enormous. Alentia, possibly her last win on a racetrack. And then Roots.
Some interesting fillies and mares won that race.
Yeah, Roots. I think she was my best bet of the day one day. Yeah. Arctic Glamour. I was
Filthy.
spewing because because I had the ticket on Ole Dancer, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to have a crack at Arctic Glamour here, and she ran super, but she does what Arctic Glamour does, just doesn't win. She's 650 here. She's been at double figures the last two. Meh, I don't know. Verona Rose, you were keen on her in the Coolmore Classic. Are you going again?
No. She's done a dash with me, Verona Rose.
Have we learnt that she needs wet tracks?
I think so.
To do her best?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
A bit of rain around in Sydney this week.
Yeah.
But no, Idle Flyer, very keen on her this weekend. Thought that was a good enough resumption. She's trialled the house down. Zachy Lloyd Sticks gets a nice gate. Yes, very keen on her this weekend.
I think I could even put that on my resolutions board. Mid-prep trials.
Yes.
They'd want to be fucking winning them.
They want to be.
They'd want to be.
They'd want to be.
They'd
want to be.
Yeah, Idle Flyer.
I think it just sets up perfectly for her. Perfectly.
I have some time for this Tuileries.
Yep.
I think she's a mare on the up. TC on. Third up here. She had a nice win at Warwick Farm in a midweek during the spring, but she won a Group 3 at Newcastle last start, defeating the likes of Churchill's Choice and Melody again. So I think she could measure up to these, I think. I do have some time for Tuileries. So, but tough little race. Wouldn't be surprised if Idle Flyer won. She was maybe a little bit disappointing, but I don't know. You were keen on Modella last start.
I was. I think that's a get your cash and
get the fuck out of there.
Get the fuck out of there, yeah. It's a good win, though.
Yeah. Tancred, 2,400 metres Group 1 weight for age. Not enough of these.
No, it's not.
Like set weights, 2,400. Just,
Who's got lungs on him?
Who's the king?
Who's got a genuine set of lungs? Who's the queen?
Yeah. Dubai Honour.
Dubai loves this shit.
Duis. So Dragonet. VE. Avilius. Good horses have won this race. I forget who put it out. It might have been the short ball or something similar, but it was like all the J-Max Group 1 wins.
Mm.
And I think Avilius was it was around number 50 in the Tancred. That was 80 Group 1s ago.
No, this is even wilder. Like Animo as a 3-year-old was in the 50s.
Yeah. Yeah.
So whilst we've been doing this podcast, he's cashed some checks.
80 Group 1s.
Helps that you've got horses like VR, Romantic Warrior,
NS,
VE, Animo, who are just checking off dominating seasons. But he gets the best cattle because he's the best jockey. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. And he gets them home.
You do take the JMAC tax, absolutely, but you also get results from horses like Lazura.
Yeah.
Winning a Group 1.
Yeah.
She won't win another Group 1.
I don't think so.
Let's make that clear.
I don't think so.
So, unless it's like a tiara up here.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Yep.
Can he do it again?
Yeah, he can. Aliana, I cannot wait to see her at weight for age 2,400 metres. Chris Waller did the exact same thing with Very Elegant. Backs her up after a Ramvet into a Tancred and she absolutely spanked him. Am I saying Aliana's Very Elegant? No, I'm not. But I think she wins this and then I think she starts favourite in a Caulfield Cup with about 54 or 55 kilos and she wins that. She's already favourite for that race, $5. Toxic. I think Lindemann went through the roof last start and he's hard to get past at Rosehill over 2,000 metres. And I think Sir Delius had the fucking nos on. And if he was here, I would have been like, no, I'll take him for this race. 2,400 metres. I don't know why that not on the quick backup. Craig gave him none, with all due respect.
Oh, mate, he was on my board for the Tancred at $6.
Oh,
What price would he start here?
$2.50.
Yeah.
Because Aliana would have been...
Yeah.
Aliana would have been $2. He would have been probably $2.60, $2.70. Yeah. But he's not here, so therefore I'll take Aliana. Like Dubai Honor, every time he comes here, he just has a field day. And he wouldn't shock me, but, he's getting on now, the big fella. So I'm going to back some fresh blood in Aliana. I thought she's $1.70, but I think she's going to put the writing on the wall here that she's a Caulfield Cup horse. And wouldn't surprise me if she wins that race too.
Oh, this is a 2-horse race, if I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
Dubai Honor won this race last year, but he beat Duke de Sessa, who was going super at the time. I bet on him that day. But he was 10-1. He was beaten less than a length. He looked the winner, but class prevailed with Dubai Honor. And then he beat Vauban, and Vauban's won one race since.
Vauban was good last start.
Yeah, he was good, but he did the exact same run last year. And as an 8-year-old, do I see him improving? Probably not. Of the two, I know who's the better horse, and it's Dubai Honor. Aliana has to be the horse. I think a couple of Sydney Cup horses here, Soul of Spain. I think a horse like him, I think he's a pretty smart horse coming out of like a Newcastle Gold Cup. I feel like he's a stayer on the rise. Like he was good in the Metropolitan. He was decent in the St. Ledger. And he definitely improved in the Sky High behind Vauban. So he could potentially be my Sydney Cup horse. But, Aliana, tough to beat.
Very tough to beat.
Here we go. Here's a race. Here's a betting race. The Doncaster Prelude, 1,500 metres, Group 3 handicap. Just Folk won this last year. Another Will the year prior. Cascadian. Fuck it. That horse, for being a non-winner, he's won a lot of races, Cascadian.
Yeah.
Happens when you're a gelding and you
just keep going.
You just keep going.
Yep. You actually love to see it.
Yeah. And Mr. Seawolf.
Funny horse.
Speed in this race. Globe will go forward. Cool Jakey from down near the rail. Magneteer as well. Feroce can be positive. Helsing. Sandpaper. Robusto. I think they've disrespected Seeples in this.
Bet of the weekend.
Bet of the weekend.
Bet of the weekend. He's running second. This track and trip to Autumn Glow. And he's $4 in this race. Yeah, he's got to give him some weight, but rightly so.
1, 2, 3,
4. He runs fourth in a Newmarket with not a lot of luck, I might add. First up 1,200 metres, then Cliffy Brown just thinks, fuck everyone else. Take him up to Doncaster Prelude. No, he's drawn perfectly. In a big field, gate 9. He's got to lug the top weight, but so he should. And you're getting $4. You're not getting $2. You're getting 4 of them.
Yep.
4
of them.
Want to see him in the yard?
1, 2, 3, 4.
I think the Sydney money will be like, Autumn Glow, hello? And just fucking go for him.
Yeah.
He won't start $4, so get on now.
Yep.
Responsibly.
Can I put a roughie in?
Yeah. Of course you can. Quinellas exist, don't they?
They definitely do. For those of you that don't study your Canberra form, go have a look at Ducas's run in the national sprint there over 1,400 metres. It was ridiculous. And the key to this horse is soft ground. 100%. He needs cut out of the ground. So if he gets that on the weekend, I think he'll only improve from that run. 3 weeks between, I think will suit him as well. But he was like obliged in the steward said he was obliged to race 3 cover without throughout. So I think he was super outstanding, Ducas. Hard to catch as well. But
last time he won, guess we beat in the second. Headley Grange.
There you go.
He is hard to catch.
He is. Yeah, it's that type of race, right?
It is.
I think it's hilarious Kovalika's in this race. Surely they're heading towards Q22 again.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah. It's a bit disappointing that he'll probably be racing up here again. I don't want to see him.
No, yeah, you're right.
Well, I saw him as a 3-year-old. I don't want to see him as a 6-year-old.
Oh, we should have seen him as a 4-year-old in the Q22. That's the issue.
Yeah,
they should have said, you know what, we'll give him a light spring, and then we'll target the Queensland Carnival on our way to a Melbourne Cup.
Yeah.
Fuck,
didn't happen.
No.
Put him in with your egg tarts. Yeah. Shared ambitions.
Yeah. Yep. Autumn boy. Doncaster, I get it. Blinkers on 1,600 metres, no weight, but test him over a Derby trip.
Yeah. There was another one. The first one they were calling Mini Winks. She ran in the Noel Greenhalgh Silks. What was her name?
You're testing me.
Yeah. Anyway. She was another one. Young Star. Fun Star, rather.
Fun Star.
She was another one.
Yeah.
Anyway. The Star Kingdom Stakes, rather. 1,200 metres, Group 3. Handicap. General Salute won this last year. Gem Song. I think I backed him in the first ever Golden Eagle at about 80-1, and he ran last.
Shit.
Sprite. Good horse. I reckon I haven't actually seen the field for this, but he might have one of his progeny going here. No, he doesn't. He has a smart mare who's a daughter of who runs very similar to Sprite, and Jungle Edge.
Yeah. Hilarious.
Holy shit, look at the speed in this race.
Yeah.
Gangster Granny, Media World, Signal Tour Tony, Ray Koken, Rosalind Starr, Sell UI, Malcoop. Malcoop stood up, I thought, last start.
Yep, Malcoop was good.
Yeah, he was good. Where do you look?
Jesus Christ. I've got to have a bet on Peloton.
You don't have to.
Oh, I got to use $10. He's $10. I got the chockies with him in the Zetative Stakes. Devil Knight just ran second on the weekend, believe it or not. And Beskar won on the weekend at a big price. So how's the form out of that race, Peloton?
I wouldn't have tipped it.
Do you know who did? Beskar? Richo's Roughies?
I did see that. One of the greats.
Yeah. I've got to back him here. He's $10. Sit behind the speed. Smoke his pipe. Kick.
I typically jump on horses once you've jumped off them. Yeah. Like when you inevitably jump off this horse, I would not be jumping on.
Peloton.
Yeah. You'll jump off him.
Oh, of course I will.
Yeah.
But I got the chockies this prep from him. He owes me nothing. 10-1.
Yeah.
In the last in Sydney, I can picture now I've got more cash than humanly possible off Seppels. And I'm like, well, I don't need to invest much of this big pile of cash to have a good collect on Peloton.
Scrooge McDuck style.
Chee-hoo, baby.
Swimming in a big amount of dough.
Yep.
Flying for Fun is the mare I was thinking of. I have a big opinion of her. Now she beat Malcoop and King's Secret, who was the favourite in that race.
Yes.
King's Secret, I think he will improve second up here. We'll get a negative ride from that gate. So have to take your medicine there, but Sprinter on the rise, King's Secret. I think he can measure up here, but I reckon that form will stand up. Keen to bet on Flying for Fun again this prep. That's all she wrote, mate.
Good weekend.
Yeah. No, it is good. What am I doing? It's my second wedding anniversary today.
Oh, congrats.
Thanks, brah. So we're celebrating it on Saturday.
Nice.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Having a quaddie. We're going to lunch somewhere. Not exactly sure where.
Nice.
we'll be going Han Solo.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So someone will be looking after the young man.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Sydney for me this weekend. I'm not heading to the track.
Commiserations.
More of an eastern seaboard guy rather than Sydney's inner west.
What, you don't want to go say g'day to Moses and the Parramatta crew?
No, I don't. I do not. What a dross game of rugby league that was between Parramatta and my Dragons. Who was going to win? Jesus, honestly.
I'm not going to lie to you, mate. I didn't catch that one.
No, yeah. Yeah, well, if you're having trouble falling asleep, watch the replay. Honestly, it's some terrible rugby league, lack of initiative. But anyway, that'll be me this weekend.
Well, enjoy.
Will do.
God bless Seeples.
Yep.
Get the job done.
Good luck, drifters.